Hello, everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. And this was the last Premier League game of 2020. When we come back again on Friday, it will be a new year. But what a way to end 2020 for the Premier League season. What a way to end it for Liverpool. It's a year they'll never forget, but this is a game that they'll probably want to forget quickly. It's finished Newcastle nil, Liverpool nil. And I mean, the big thing is today. I think it was one of those games where no matter what you do, the ball just refuses to go inside the goal. Whenever you can hit the shot the best way in the best way possible. You can get lucky with deflections. You can get lucky with passes that come to you. But for some reason, the ball just says, "I'll do everything you want until you want me to go into the goal, because I am not doing that today. I am not going inside. I'm not going to hit that net. I'm not going past that line. I'm not going to cross that line." And that is exactly what happened today. I mean, everything Newcastle, Liverpool do through everything in Newcastle. They did everything possible. It was just that last final shot, that last final pass that could have done it. It just refused to happen for Liverpool. But I mean, it's 2 points dropped, and this is now they've now dropped points in 7 games this season. They only did it in 6 last season, so they've already they've ensured now that they will not be getting as many points as they got last season. So that's something for everyone else that's not a Liverpool fan to take comfort from. But I mean, it was an interesting game to watch. It's one of those games that you are on the edge of your seat. If you have a vested interest in one of those teams, whether it's because you want one of those teams to win or you don't want one of those teams to win, it is a game that kept you on the edge of your seat throughout, because I thought Liverpool were phenomenal in everything they did today up until the point that they got to that net. And by phenomenal, they were pretty sloppy in the first half. Actually, there were a few misplaced passes. There were a few issues where they were kind of a little bit slow. And I felt they were a bit ponderous today as well, on the ball. But I think once Thiago came on, there was a little bit more pace to their play. There was a little bit more urgency. So I think Liverpool overall played a good game. They probably weren't at their best that they normally are, but they were pretty good today. They were better than what they were against West Brom. The issue was it's just that finishing. I thought, and sometimes you just come up like that with the goalkeeper, who's saving everything, who's getting his hand or his head or whatever, body in the way, something's happening. So you get those kind of games. You can't really do much about that. But I thought Liverpool, aside from putting the ball in the net, they did everything right today. They did everything that they could, just except putting that ball in the net. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. I think I'm sure that's the way Klopp will be looking at it. Is I don't care if the team plays badly, but if you get the 3 points, and it doesn't matter. But they didn't get the 3 points today. But I thought the performance was better today than what it was against West Brom. Still not 100% Liverpool, not where Liverpool have been, the level that they have been at for the last year, 2 years. But it was a good performance nonetheless. You talk about Newcastle. The Newcastle were phenomenal. In defensive was superb in the way that they defended. There was a lot of times it was desperate, but I think that's kind of expected. But they did what they needed to do. I thought Karl Darlow was the man of the match quite easy. He was the man of the match, the saves that he made. But I thought Fabian Schär played well as well and looked very, very sharp and very, very solid. And you kind of wonder what Newcastle would be if they had a better offense. I mean, for me, Joelinton is a player who frustrates me no end, because I saw him today, and I've always wondered what the purpose of Joelinton is, because he doesn't score a lot of goals. He's playing now as a winger, despite originally being bought as a striker, but as a winger, he doesn't do much. Today, there were so many occasions where he could have played Callum Wilson in, where he could have run with the ball. It just seemed once he got the ball, and once he saw, once he run past a couple, a little bit forward with the ball, and then as soon as he saw a shirt or two, he'd be like, okay, what do I do now? Do I try and play Callum Wilson in? Do I try and take a back pass? Do I try to do something else? And they've always, invariably, you pass the ball back to Matt Ritchie or to Isaac Hayden, whoever. You just try to pass the ball back, because he was like, I don't want to. I don't know whether it was Steve Bruce getting in his head and saying, you know what, I don't want you giving the ball away in that kind of area. And so if you don't think you can make the pass, just pass it back. And then maybe he was not confident enough to take the pass on, or maybe just that his own natural, confidence is shot, and he felt like, no, I'm not gonna risk it. I don't want to be blamed for conceding a goal on the break, so I'm just going to play it safe and play it back. But there's so many occasions where if Newcastle had a better winger, you would expect them to try and maybe thread a pass through, thread a nice little crossover over the top. Because there were many times where Callum Wilson was in dangerous positions, he just needed to find the service, and he just wasn't getting it today. And Joelinton, I thought, had a pretty poor game overall. I mean, offensively had a poor game. I know defensively he had a role to play, and he did that quite well. And sometimes it can get tiring going up and down the flank, particularly if you're a striker playing as a winger. It's quite difficult. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just felt that he could have done more offensively. I think there was points where he could have been better. But but that's part and parcel of playing in these sort of games. Is you don't expect much offensively from Newcastle against Liverpool. What you expect is them to put in a solid defensive shift, and they did that. I thought I thought defensively Liverpool looked better today. Again, they looked better than they did in the last 20 minutes against West Brom. Obviously, it was Reece Williams didn't start today. Nat Phillips started, and I started. And I think Nat Phillips is a better defender than Reece Williams. Reece Williams is younger and probably might become the better defender in the future. Maybe we don't know. But I thought Nat Phillips right now. I think Nat Phillips is a better defender than Reece Williams. And I thought he looked at today. Wilson actually had the better of him physically. Though physically, I think Wilson won that battle. But I mean that was good from Fabinho for covering for him. But I thought and that was smart from Fabinho because he started to cover Nat Phillips whenever Wilson tried to get one-on-one with him. He tried to cover him, and so that was good from Fabinho. So but I think overall, I think Fabinho and Nat Phillips works better than Fabinho and Reece Williams. And I think he had a chat with Jones as well because there was no smart assery from Jones today. He wasn't trying to be smart with passes. He was again trying to look forward. He looks a good player as well. I thought overall, I can't single anyone out for a bad game. I mean, the only thing you can say is that they missed chances. So you're going to probably cut points there that they missed chances. And that's why you would say some people had a below par game. But if you look at the play before, the goal positions, before those goal situations, they were pretty good. I mean, they created so many chances. They had Newcastle on the ropes, for pretty much the whole of the second half. It's just that one of those days, isn't it? When no matter what you do, the ball just refuses to go in. And every team has those kind of days, and every team will have those kind of days. So you can't really begrudge them that. But for the moment, what it does mean for the table is that Liverpool now are just 3 points clear of Manchester United, who do have a game in hand. I do want to take a quick look at the table because I think that's going to give us a little bit of an idea of where we are. So I'm just opening the table here, and you can see it, but I mean, just looking at it right now, what we're seeing is that Man United are now just 3 points off of Liverpool. They have a game in hand. Everton also have a game in hand, and they could go to within a point of Liverpool if they win that game in hand, though that one is against Manchester City. So City will also be like just a point behind Liverpool if they win their 2 games in hand. They've got 2 games in hand because their game was postponed, so they could be up there as well, and so will Aston Villa could also get there. But I think ultimately, I think City's 2 games are against Aston Villa and Everton, so you expect kind of a little. That's just kind of a little bit games in hand, and not exactly the best indicator right now. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I still feel, and I'm not going to change my mind. I think the key thing is goal difference as well. I think Liverpool have a much superior goal difference to Manchester United. So if that ever comes into play, I don't think Man United are going to score as many goals as Liverpool are going to score this season. I think Liverpool are now starting to get like the Manchester. The one issue I think that what I saw today is that maybe there may be a point where Liverpool are starting to become kind of like Manchester City. They're getting Manchester City eyes, where they'll have games where they score 6-7 goals like they did against Palace, and then they'll have games where they scored 1 goal or no goals and draw matches like they did against West Brom and Newcastle. They won't have those routine 2-0, 3-1, 3-0 wins like that. I'm not sure if that's. I mean, I'm not saying that they won't have that. What I'm saying is it's looking like they can't win like that, and that's not a good sign. I'm sure Liverpool will get back on track. They'll get back on towards the title, but that is an issue that I think Klopp will probably need to look at and just think about how he wants to configure things, maybe reconfigure things. Now that he's got Thiago back, I thought that was a good plus for Liverpool to have Thiago back, so he'll give them a little bit more trust in midfield, and they can now rotate a little bit as well. Maybe not have to start Jones so much. Maybe can rest Henderson a little bit as well. He rested Wijnaldum today, so that was good. So they have those options now. But I think in terms of goals, I still think Liverpool will score more than Manchester United. I think the only key point here to look for Manchester United is they'll have to hope that maybe Liverpool can hopefully drop a few more points. It's going to be Liverpool dropping points that's going to let others win. I don't think Liverpool are going to lose 2 games to Manchester United. I don't think they're going to lose to Manchester City when they play them. I don't think they're going to lose to Everton. I don't think I can't see Aston Villa beating them again as well. So I honestly I don't see teams beating them. I can see teams drawing with them here and there, but I really can't see teams beating them. And so that's the issue. But but overall, I think I don't think there's a title race on. And to be honest, it's difficult to see how any team can now go. This got 23 games. It's hard to see how a team is going to keep up with Liverpool for 23 games. It's going to require a lot of effort from anybody, from any of the teams, whether it's Manchester City, whether it's Leicester, whether it's Everton, it's Aston Villa, whether it's Chelsea, maybe Spurs, maybe Manchester United, maybe. For all of these teams, it's going to be tough to get in. So I don't think in the bigger scheme of things, I don't think this defeat means a lot in terms of what will happen with the Premier League title. It does make it a little bit interesting though, but that's it's kind of, as I put it out on Facebook as well. I said it's kind of like Klopp trolling everyone. Where it's like, oh, maybe we're not as good, maybe we're not as strong, but then just lets everybody get a little bit close and then just gallops away and says, you know what, I was just messing with you guys, we're just making a challenge for ourselves. But it's finished, but yeah, good congratulations to Newcastle. Really wonderful performance. A few issues for Liverpool to sort out, but I think they'll get on track again, and they'll probably start racking up the wins again. That's kind of where I think we're going. But it's all setting up now. The thing is, it's all setting up for that showdown at Anfield, isn't it? Liverpool against Manchester United, where United are probably going to be the closest challengers to Liverpool. And I think Liverpool, and the stage is set for Liverpool to just beat them and smash them like they did to Leicester, and then say, hey, you know what, no team is really good enough for us. So that's where we are. But that's my opinion. I think that's just what the way I've seen Liverpool perform these last 2 years. That's kind of what I've seen from Liverpool every time. It's like you think that there's a chink in the armor, but there isn't actually. It's just a matter of it's just a small malfunction, and they just fix it very quickly, and then it just roll on. The machine just keeps rolling on. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, it's finished. Newcastle 0, Liverpool 0. 2 points drop for Liverpool, but still top of the league, still going strong. And that's not the best way to end 2020, but I'm sure it's been a good year for them. Otherwise, I'm sure they won't be thinking too much about it, and they'll start and they'll look forward to that next game and try to correct that wrong. But nonetheless, for now, we can enjoy in the fact that maybe we do have some semblance of a title race for at least a little while longer, and we'll see how it goes. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and smash a like if you enjoyed the video, and please share your comments on what you thought of the game. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. Have a good rest of your 2020, because the next time I see you, it will probably be in 2021. So have a good rest, and I wish you all a very happy new year as well. But take care. Bye-bye.